Alright, so the combo, as it is going to be leading with the slow Landorus and going for a U-turn into Talonflame, because a lot of people like to lead with Intimidators, especially against my team. And if they lead with an Intimidator, or a Pokemon like Bisharp, for example, that means like I can't lead with stuff, I can just U-turn out and be super safe. Against this guy's team, though, I can probably get away with just leading with the Talonflame, but there is the fake out potential. I don't really want to lead Landorus into a Bisharp slot, so that's not bueno. I should probably bring Kang here, but I want to bring Gardevoir. Because there's that Amoonguss over there. Hyper Voice will still chunk a Bisharp, but I'll just bring Kang. I can go with Kang. Actually, let's not bring him first. Let's go Gastrodon. If he was like Kang Amoonguss here, that's really bad. I can go Landorus. I can get away with it. Okay, that looks good. Alright. So we're starting things off against Francis. Francis from France. I think he was from France. We're going to find out. And yeah, this team actually should be pretty good if I put all my items on. So we should be fine. Amoonguss Kang. So exactly what I thought was going to happen. That is good to note so far. And we have Landorus Sableye. So an Intimidate's going to come off onto that Kangaskhan. And we have the Sableye to stop any weird plays from the Amoonguss. So pretty good stuff. And my screen is cut off a little bit. Alright, let's fix the screen. Alright, what can we do here? Now just try it. Let's see who he goes for the fake out on. I mean, he can go for... I'm thinking he can go for, like, fake out Spore. I mean, that is definitely an option, but I might KO his Kang for it. Yeah, it looks like I might pick up the KO here. Yeah, he didn't Mega Evolve, so he's probably going for the Spore, but, I mean, it really doesn't matter at this point, because, like, his Kang's out, and that means that my Kang can do whatever it wants, and it often depends on who he's sporing. When he's sporing Sableye, Sableye was going to switch out next turn anyways. I'm U-turning with Landorus, I'm switching out with Sableye, I should be fine. Most of his, like, heavy attacking threats are out. Like, he has, like, Chandelure, and he has Bisharp, but I've already, like, I've already sent out the Landorus. I'm thinking about just actually superpowering. No, just U-turn, it's fine. I want to break the Sash over there. And this guy's hard switching. This is really risky, but I'm going to go for it. Really risky stuff, but I'm going for it. Alright. Bisharp protects. Amoonguss spores. The Landorus saw, that's fine. So he actually like, totally played me there, but it's not the end of the world. There we go. We're gonna switch out here. We have two Pokemon asleep, so it actually could be better. Just gonna Mega Evolve, try and pick up the KO on Bisharp. He's probably going to just Rage Powder here, but I mean I don't really care. Talonflame has like potential KO power on stuff, so Low Kick is gonna go through. I'm faster than Bisharp, so picking up the KO he looks like he was probably orbed, and yeah, I actually feel really safe here. I mean, he can go for a Spore on Kang. I have 3 things now asleep. He has 2 Pokemon left, so it depends what his last Pokemon is. Like, if it's a Chandelure, I should be fine. Let's see what it is. Let's see what it's going to be. Remember, he had Suicune on his team. That's not really that big of a threat here. It's going to be the Chandelure, so I pretty much picked all 4 of his Pokemon. That's good to know. And we're just going to start trying to KO stuff. Brave Bird's going to come in on Amoonguss. This guy is not protecting very well. I mean, he had a pretty good protect on turn 4, but I should be able to pick up the KO there. Talonflame picks up the solid Brave Bird KO. And I should be able to wake up with at least one of my Pokemon before the Chandelure, like, wrecks everybody. Good thing he can't burn my Kangaskhan while I'm asleep. So, we're going to see Heat Wave come out. It's going to do chip damage on Talonflame, almost half to my Kangaskhan. Oh, that's a crit. Okay, cool. I was like, wow, that did a lot. I was actually expecting the Shadow Ball that turn, or maybe even like a Trick Room. Trick Room probably wouldn't have been a good idea because of, well, I'm using priority moves anyways. Note that I'm just constantly spamming Sucker Punch with Kangaskhan. I don't really want to reveal if I'm faster or slower than the Chandelure. He can just assume that I'm going to use Sucker Punch, which is what I'm doing anyways, and there's nothing you can really do about it. We're going to see the Sash on the Chandelure, pretty much something I assumed after not seeing a Sash on the Bisharp. I personally prefer Sash Chandelure 2. It's something I've been using since 2013. I think it's a really good set. Ooh, he misses my Talonflame, which is pretty much going to seal this game up, because Talonflame still is alive. Kangaskhan is going to go down, though, but I mean, there's no real way that my opponent can come back from this situation. Come back in with Landorus, and that's game. I really don't think he could have won, though. This isn't a Assault-Vest Landorus. I mean, he definitely has... All of my Pokemon are asleep. Like, if he would have hit the Talonflame, it would have been pretty good. But, like, this Landorus could probably eat those Heat Waves like a boss with the Assault-Vest. So, a little bit lucky, but I didn't really need it. So, yep, Brave Bird is going to come in and seal the deal. Pretty good stuff. Alright, so we're going to go back into the replay and check this game out. Talonflame, super carried. It's one of the things that I switched about this team, and that's what I really like about it. So I'm going to talk about that when we go over the replay. Save it, please. Alright. So you may know that this team is pretty similar. You've seen most of these Pokemon from me before. And it's kind of weird that I'm using Talonflame. And I was thinking when I was at work the other day that Talonflame is probably just like a really good Pokemon in this team. And I'm going to talk about it once we go into the loading screen. Checking SD card. Alright, here we go. It has to like check the internet or something first because... Alright, anyways. We have, I brought these 4 Pokemon because I wanted to set up for a really strong turn 2. I expected my opponent's best lead to be Kangaskhan and Mungus, which it happened. I also expected there to be a Chandelure in there because of the way my team looks. And Bisharp is just a great Pokemon against Pokemon like, it might have actually been a Lumberry on that Bisharp. We actually don't know. Because Bisharp would have even been like an even better pick against something like Sableye. But Bisharp was there to check the Landorus, which was a Pokemon that actually like totally put a stop to this guy's team. So the plan of this was to go for like a fake out superpower on Kang if he led with it, or if he didn't lead with Kang, if he led with more of like a Suicune lead, because that was a Pokemon that was definitely in his like potential to bring, or let's say he went with like Bisharp, I was going to go for a U-turn into, like, and note that it is a slow U-turn, because it's a full wall Landorus, so it's going to most likely be going last, versus Pokemon like this, like a fast Chandelure, a fast Bisharp. Mega Kangaskhan is faster than my Landorus, so it's usually going to be going last, and I can safely U-turn out, break stashes, and then come in with Talonflame, a Pokemon that is going to be packing a Choice Band to then finish up one shot, like finish off the rest of a Pokemon's HP. If I go for, let's say, like a U-turn on Kang, and then a Brave Bird on Kang, Kang goes down, and it's actually safer than just trying to go for a superpower. I went for the superpower that game, but that was because I was pretty sure he was going for a fake out turn 1, and I just wanted to be able to get a quick KO. Going for a different play, like going for the U-turn there, would have led to more of my Pokemon, and especially my Talonflame potentially becoming asleep. Just trying to pick up the KO, it would have forced his Rage Powder to redirect the superpower. In that situation, superpower was the better option, but in most situations, usually when a U-turn against the Kang, it's intimidated, come in with Talonflame, and finish it off with a Choice Band Brave Bird. So we're going to start things off and go over the replay and try and see if we can figure out anything that we didn't really see last game. So Francis is issuing a challenge, leads off Amungus Kang, like I said, the best leads against my team. Also note that Talonflame is a Pokemon that I switched in for Arcanine. This team is exactly the same, but I'm using Arcanine, or I'm using Talonflame instead of Arcanine, so it also helps me in matchups against Pokemon like Amungus. So it's something that isn't really super important, but it is something that definitely is important to this matchup. Another thing to note is that Talonflame, where was another thing that was really important? Oh yeah, Talonflame doesn't have Intimidate, so it can actually lead against teams like this that have Bisharp and just be completely fine. And it also does the same things that Arcanine would normally do. It still has that huge, strong Flare Blitz. It still has those really strong priority moves. Talonflame is using Brave Bird versus Arcanine's Extreme Speed, so I do feel like Talonflame in almost every situation is just an upgrade. It has a slightly less advantageous matchup against Pokemon like Kangaskhan, but when you pair it with a Landorus using U-Turn, that is enough damage to pick up a KO on even the bulkiest of sets. So we're going to see him start going for Spores here. Note that he spores my Landorus first, and this guy's whole plan is to get everything asleep and then use his last of his sweepers to try and clean up. It's not really going to work. Since I know he's going for a Spore game instead of more of a Rage Powder game, I expect that I should just be able to pick up the KO on Bisharp. Let's say worst case scenario happens. Remember, my Landorus went for a superpower last turn, so it is pretty weak. It has its defensive stat dropped. I went for the low kick on the Bisharp, and in worst case scenario, if he would have Rage Powdered that into his Amoonguss, worst case scenario, he has Rocky Helmet, I get Effect Spored. That would have been really lame, but I still switched Talonflame in that turn, and there was no way that Bisharp was going to be able to finish off my Talonflame, even with like a knockoff or something. And since I am faster than Bisharp, I still would have gotten the Brave Bird off on Amoonguss. It would have been slightly less advantageous if that turn would have played out like that, but it was definitely a risk worth taking, and it wouldn't have been like a game loss if that turn would have happened that way. So Amoonguss is going to go down to the Talonflame. Not really anything worth switching, or he's out of Pokemon, he can't even switch anything. And he's going to start firing off Heat Waves here. This is a Sash Chandelure, so we're going to see it probably be packing like full speed and just full special attack. Probably Shadow Ball, Protect, Heat Wave, and like Energy Ball or something like that. So standard Chandelure set. It might be a little bit slower. We can't really tell here because I'm staying in the Sucker Punch because that's just the best move to use with Kang if I wake up. And I know this game was pretty much just easy. I called his 4 Pokemon. His other options were Suicune and something else. I mean, you guys could rewind the video, but I remember that it wasn't actually a factor in this game. There was no way he was bringing it. Worst case scenario, my opponent would have brought Suicune here somewhere. Suicune is pretty good against a Landorus, Talonflame, Kangaskhan board, but if you see people bring Amoonguss, you can assume they're not going to bring Suicune. That's using too many walls, a little bit too much misdirection, not enough KO power, especially against a team like this that is in your face every turn. So we're going to pick up the KO there. Unfortunately, he missed with that Heat Wave, but it wouldn't really have mattered, and it is going to lead to me winning the game. So thank you guys for watching this battle. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.